So in 2025, if I was looking for my first PlayStation and just starting from scratch, which one should I go for between the PlayStation 5 Slim and the PlayStation 5 Pro? Depending on budget and what is available, those are comparisons that will help you inform your decision. So let's talk about the specs, let's talk about what you get with both consoles, let's talk about the upgrades with the PlayStation 5 Pro, if it has been worth it for the price, and let's talk about the PlayStation 5 Slim and see if it's more worth for you and your setup and what your needs are. So let's talk about it. With the brand new year 2025, we've got two main PlayStations on the shelves. We've got the PlayStation 5 Slim and we have the PlayStation 5 Pro. The original PlayStation 5 is mainly now a pre-owned console because I relatively have not seen an original PlayStation 5 on the shelves for over a year now. So that's why I'm just talking about the PlayStation 5 Slim and the PlayStation 5 Pro in this video. So with the upgrades with the PlayStation 5 Pro, what you're gonna get is more teraflops. So in terms of the GPU, more teraflops, more performance. So you're getting 16 teraflops versus the original PlayStation 5 Slim, which is gonna have about 10 to 11 teraflops of performance. So what that means is the PlayStation 5 Pro can hold more graphics in terms of its gameplay capabilities. So it has more storage and it's just more graphical performance based. So it's taking away the performance mode and the high fidelity mode that you'll get with the PlayStation 5 Slim, and they've upgraded it so it's an all-in-one experience for certain games with the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now with the library, you have certain games like The Last of Us, you've got Spider-Man 2, you're gonna have games even cross-compatible like Hogwarts Legacy, you got your God of War, you've got Horizons and a New Dawn Horizons, which is like a remastered version of the PlayStation 4. But the list is pretty limited at the moment, so hopefully in the new year, they're actually gonna update this list and grow the list. You get more performance in terms of putting both high fidelity mode and performance mode together. So that means that it's gonna play 60 frames per second smoothly with AI upscaling, so you're gonna get a more clearer image when you're actually zooming in. Now, not a lot of people really see this with a basic eye on a lot of monitors because, to tell the truth, like not a lot of people are using big screen TVs to play video games. Even I don't use like a huge 40-inch plus 60-inch TV. But a lot of those people that get to like the 80-inch TVs will probably notice a bit more of a difference when the pixels are more scaled out, if that makes sense. So keep that in mind. If your total setup is a little bit smaller, then I don't know, getting the AI upscaling is not necessarily a need or something that you definitely need to get, if that makes sense. But with other things, yes, you get more storage with the PlayStation 5 Pro. So you're gonna get double the amount of storage. So you get 2 terabytes. Versus the PlayStation 5 Slim. The PlayStation 5 Slim only features about a terabyte worth of storage, so you can hold a lot more games. On the PlayStation 5 Pro internally, and to get more storage, it is quite more expensive. So thinking about that, yeah, it might add up for you. But in terms of gameplay, like for the general eye, you're not gonna tell too much of a difference at the moment when it comes to like the general performance of, let's say, Spider-Man, for example. The main thing is just the reflections on like windows, for example, or water, for example. You're gonna get better reflections, better ray tracing, for example. So ray tracing is the shadows and the reflections on like stuff like windows and cars, for example. So people notice that more when they're in those environments. So I'm using Spider-Man 2 as an example of this because you do get a lot of windows, you do get a lot of skyscrapers, for example. So that's when you're gonna tell more of a difference, and you'll see it more when you get to like the night scenes, when you pass like halfway through the game where it turns to night. Even Hogwarts Legacy, for example, as well, like you'll see it when it goes more halfway through the game and it goes more into night, and you'll be able to see more of those reflections and ray tracing. And that's when the PlayStation 5 Pro, for example, will stand out a little bit more than the original PlayStation, but those are just the main differences. It's also just smooth running at 60 frames per second, whereas with the PlayStation 5 Slim, it cuts it down to 30 frames per second on a different mode. So when you're focusing more on less frame rates, but better graphical performance, that's when you see like a dip in those frame rates. But if you want just a standard 60 frames per second, then you have that option as well. So at least that option's there for you with the original PlayStation 5 Slim as well. But the PlayStation 5 Pro just cuts those corners and just gives you one option where it's like, okay, we're gonna put the 60 frames per second and the best graphical performance together. But it's only for certain games, whereas, yeah, PS5 Pro boosted games. So there's a limitation with what the PlayStation 5 Pro list gives, and it won't, for necessarily a lot of older games like Red Dead Redemption 2, it won't offer that boost, for example. And I know a lot of people love playing that game, or like GTA 5, for example. There's a lot of games that a lot of people play that it doesn't offer that boost for, so it might not be worth it. And it depends what you're going to play as well on the PlayStation. Are you going to play mainly the Spider-Man? I play mainly the Spider-Man, so yeah, I would really like the best performance for that, so that's really good. It's all up to you and your budget. So one thing I was really thinking about with the budget is, okay, if you have like 1,200 in total for your budget in terms of Australian dollars, like instead of getting the PlayStation 5 Pro, you can get PlayStation 5 Slim with maybe an extra DualSense controller, all your favorite games that you really want, such as Spider-Man. You can also, yeah, just get a whole bunch of games that you really want, and then just some extra accessories, maybe an extra charger here and there. And then you have an extra budget for maybe, I don't know, an extra monitor if you've got an extra few $100s left over, you know? So just thinking about the budget in terms of the gameplay, if you want extra accessories or something and all your favorite games already for the price of $1,200, you can get all that if you want the PlayStation 5 Slim. And there's also another advantage. It's a little bit smaller. It's going to fit into a lot more spaces, more than the PlayStation 5 Pro, even though, you know, size-wise, okay, there's not too much of a difference. It's like a little bit of an inch taller or so, but it might make a difference. Like, who knows? PlayStation 5 Slim, it's smaller, more compact. It's got the same upgrade and update as the PlayStation 5 Pro. The only thing you're missing is really those PS5 Pro compatible games, which you can still play on the original PlayStation 5 Slim. So to think about that, then it might be like, okay, let's get the PlayStation 5 Slim. And I've seen some great deals, like the Fortnite bundle is like only, what, $500 to $600 in Australia? So that's a really good bundle. You get yourself a PlayStation 5 Slim, and then, yeah, you could spend, what, an extra $600, get yourself a brand new monitor, accessories, all the games that you want. You can get yourself the PlayStation 5 subscription, for example, as well. So there's lots of pros to still getting the PlayStation 5 Slim, and it's got a disc drive. It's really hard to get the disc drive at the moment as well, so that's just something else to keep in mind. But in terms of like transferring all the data over, I have found it relatively quite easy. It just connected to the account, and you can use a QR code to basically get straight into the PlayStation in about 10 minutes, and you'll have all your saved data already on there because your account's on there, and then you just download all your favorite games again. And I've been slowly transferring all that data over to the PlayStation 5 Pro, and I have been playing the PlayStation 5 Pro because I have it more than the PlayStation 5 Slim. But I've also got the original PlayStation 5 that has most of my games on it. In saying that, I do like the boosted performance for like certain games, for example. Like I do play Spider-Man. It depends what your needs and wants are. If it's for a young kid that just wants to play Fortnite, just wants to play a bit of Minecraft, for example, then maybe the Slim will probably be more towards that direction. If you're going to play more of those pro-level RPGs or the AAA games, then maybe considering getting the PlayStation 5 Pro, because you also get the extra storage as well, because I know that those games take a lot of storage. So there's a lot to think about when deciding on both consoles. The best value overall with the PlayStation models at the moment, because of the price range, it's kind of dropped a bit lower in price. It runs like a PlayStation 5 normally does. I think a lot of people would probably benefit from just getting the PlayStation 5 Slim over the Pro at the moment, but the Pro will offer that Pro level performance and a bit extra storage, for example, as well. So there's lots of pros and cons with both consoles. Let me know your thoughts with which one you guys would love to choose between both of these consoles. And have yourselves a beautiful brand new year. Thank you so much for watching.